Here's the next question, number 41. Consider the economic dispatch problem for a power plant having 2 generating units. The fuel costs in rupees per megawatt hour along with the generation limits for the 2 units are given below. C1 P1 equals 0.01 P1 square plus 30 P1 plus 10, where P1 lies between 100 megawatts to 150 megawatts. The next one, C2 of P2 equals 0.05 P2 square plus 10 P2 plus 10, where P2 lies between 100 megawatts to 180 megawatts. The incremental cost in rupees per megawatt hour of power plant when it supplies 200 megawatts is dash. Okay, so here we will have to consider our basic formula. DC1 by dP1 is equal to DC2 by dP2 in order to calculate the incremental cost. This is an important formula. Now, the question says that the incremental cost is to be found when it supplies 200 megawatts, which means P1 plus P2 equals 200 megawatts. Now let's call this equation 1. So since we are to find out, we'll use this formula here. We will differentiate C1 and C2 with respect to P1 and P2. So let me just grab another sheet of paper here and we'll differentiate. So differentiating, we'll start with, I'll write that down here, DC1 by dP1 equals DC2 by dP2. So for the first equation, we would have 0.01 into 2P1 plus 30 is equal to 0.05 into 2P2 plus 10, and that gives us 0.02P1 plus 30 is equal to 0.1 P2 plus 10. So let's bring P1 and P2 on the same side. We would write this as 0.1 P2 minus 0.02 P1 is equal to 20. Let's call this equation 2. Now we have equation 1 and 2 in terms of P1 and P2. So if we solving 1 and 2. You can use any method in solving 1 and 2, but since you, I believe you can use your calculator in order to solve linear equations in 2 variables. We have 2 unknowns P1 and P2, so you can solve using any method you like. I will leave that solving part to you. You should arrive at P1 is equal to 0 and P2 is equal to 200. But the equation says that, or in fact the condition, if you look at the condition here for P2 lies between 100 and 180 and P1 lies between 100 and 150, which means that these values are not feasible. So in such cases, you can divide them equally between the two. So since P2 is more than the maximum limit, right, the maximum limit of P2 is 180 according to the condition given here. So since P2 is more than the maximum limit, the load distribution between both of this can be taken as equal. So P1 equals 100 megawatts and P2 equals another 100 megawatts. Both of them adding up to 200. Now the question says to find out the incremental cost of the power plant when it supplies 200 megawatts. So what we do is to find out DC2 by dP2. We know that it is 0.1 P2 plus 10, the second part of the power plant. So this equals 0.1 into 100 plus 10. Now either way, because dC1 by dP1 equals dC2 by dP2, now we have both parts which are supposed to be equal. So we take 0.1 into 100 plus 10, and that gives us 10 plus 10, which is 20. Well, this is the final answer here. 20. Well, I hope this has helped.